Paragliding. Is that a smart risk or a dumb risk? Well, if you look at the statistics behind paragliding, almost nobody dies from paragliding. Usually, the companies who are taking people out paragliding, they know what they're doing. So I would say that that's a pretty smart risk. Yes, you're incurring a little bit of risk, but is it reckless? No. Risk is fundamental to growing your wealth. That's because there's a fundamental relationship in investing called risk versus reward. Essentially, the more risk you take on, the more reward you might realize. But you'll notice that I started off this module with smart risks versus dumb risks. A smart risk is when you made a logical decision to make an investment or to cultivate something, and then when it started to actually come time to harvest it, it didn't work out like you planned. That's okay, that happens in life. If any of you are poker fans, you'll know that they call this in poker a tough beat. That's because you played the hand right, it just didn't work out this time. That's gonna happen in investing. But there's also dumb risk. And this is what we want to eliminate right now. The way that you eliminate dumb risk is through diversification. Basically, don't put all your eggs in one basket. So that's why when you start to think about assets that you're hunting for, it's generally good to have a mix. To have some real assets, some intellectual property, some financial assets, some stocks and some bonds. In general, you want to have a blend of assets so that you are more resilient. That diversification is how you eliminate dumb risk. And we're going to talk about, in this section, some tools that enable you to eliminate that dumb risk and be diversified extremely easily. Now, to wrap up this lecture, I want to talk a little bit about transaction costs, because this has something to do with risk. You want to be used to buying good assets that you believe in and holding them and watching them grow. Now here's where transaction costs come in. Every time that you buy or sell a property, you pay fees. You pay fees to real estate attorneys, to real estate agents. You pay fees to the city for transferring the property deed. Similarly, when you buy a mutual fund, you often pay fees on the very first time that you buy it. When you buy and sell a stock, you pay fees to a company who helps you facilitate the purchase or sale of that stock. All of these fees are called transaction costs, and they can really add up. For example, if you pay 5% to a real estate agent when you sell your house, and you sell your house for $500,000, you can check me on my math here, but let's see, 10% would be $50,000, so 5%, you're gonna be paying that real estate agent $25,000. That's a lot of money. That's why it's important to be in the mindset of hunting for good assets and holding on to them for a long time. So in summary, risk is inherently necessary to reap rewards. Start getting comfortable with taking on a little bit of risk. Some risk is unnecessary. In investing, a lack of diversification is unnecessary risk. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. Transaction costs will eat away at your wealth, so get used to buying good assets and hold on to them. Finally, I want to let you know that there are a couple of tools in the Financial Empowerment Study Kit to help you find your risk profile.